And now to the UK, where a third girl has been reported dead after yesterday's mass stabbing at a dance party in Southport. The girl, aged 9, died in the early hours of this morning. 2 other girls, aged 6 and 7, died yesterday. 5 children and 2 adults are in critical condition. The class was organized by Leanne Lucas. People have paid a tribute to her bravery, but her condition is not known. A 17-year-old male arrested on suspicion of the multiple murder is in police custody. Now to the U.S., where a man accused of starting a California wildfire that has burned through more than 370,000 acres of land and destroyed scores of buildings, causing thousands to flee their homes, is facing judicial scrutiny. The 42-year-old Ronnie Stout appeared in court on Monday afternoon charged with arson for allegedly igniting the park fire by pushing a burning car into a ravine. The fire is now the 6th largest recorded in the state, burning in 4 counties. The fire, which is only 12% contained, has destroyed 109 structures. More than 8,000 have been told to evacuate their homes. We're back to the Middle East, where Israel has threatened a severe response to the attack in Angola Heights some days ago. And now we understand that Hezbollah has responded, also threatening retaliation if Israel does respond. Let's now bring in journalist from Beirut, Lebanon, Miriam Saleh. Good to have you join us, Miriam.
Thank you for having me.
So the latest report we're getting now from some journalists is that Hezbollah has now also threatened or warned that it will respond to any Israeli aggression in Lebanon, and that was after Prime Minister Netanyahu vowed severe response to the attack on Golan Heights. What's the mood in Beirut?
Well, we need to keep in mind one thing, that Hezbollah has from the beginning completely denied any responsibility for what happened in the area of Majd al-Shams, the Golan Heights, which is a place where you have an Arab community. And many testimonies, in addition to videos from the community there, showed very clearly that there was a rocket that came from Jabal al-Sheikh, where there is an Israeli military barracks, and that rocket was the rocket of the Iron Dome platform. Hezbollah made that very clear. If Hezbollah, as some U.S. experts or U.S. officials are saying, might have accidentally, not purposefully, hit an area where there are civilians, then this issue would have happened several times in the past. Hezbollah, in the last 10 to 11 months, has so far been very meticulous when it comes to targeting only Israeli military targets, only Israeli military places. Now, this said, Hezbollah has clearly made it and sent their message to the Lebanese government. The Lebanese government has also made that claim to the United Nations, as well as the United States and other players, that since Hezbollah was not responsible for the Majd al-Shams issue, and the Israelis do launch an aggression which leads to destruction of an infrastructure or the killing of civilians, then Hezbollah will make it its duty to retaliate for that issue, which they believe will be completely separate from the confrontations that have been going on in the last 10 months, which are in support of the Palestinian resistance and the people of Gaza, in addition to retaliating for the Israeli aggressions that continue to take place in South Lebanon.
So how then do you respond to those who say, look, because this is a disputed region and because the major victims here were children, and so it will be very difficult for Hezbollah to claim responsibility for such an attack?
Yes, this does complicate things very much, and we've heard also from how we can understand this is through the Druze community, the Arab community in Majd al-Shams, whose children are the ones who were killed. When Netanyahu decided to go and visit that area, all we heard from them was they were calling on Netanyahu, calling him a war criminal. They were saying that he is the one who is the killer of children and not Hezbollah. And if you get that from the victims themselves, from the families of the victims, from the heads, the religious clerics in Majd al-Shams itself, the religious community, of course, is very well united and linked together, whether the community in Lebanon and Syria The Golan Heights, by the way, is considered Syrian-occupied territory, and the people there are considered Syrian, and they are Arabs, and they feel very strongly towards what is happening in Gaza, and they understand that the killer of children is Netanyahu and not Hezbollah. And Hezbollah has made this clear. Up until now, Hezbollah does not have any blood on their hands against any children or any innocent person. All those that have been killed in the confrontation through Hezbollah are only military personnel, and they have only targeted military sites. Now, with that said, again, it seems that the United States and Israel want to frame the resistance. They want to put this on Hezbollah because the Israelis are extremely in a tight spot now. They are definitely under pressure from their community. They're under pressure from the resistance in Lebanon, as well as the resistance in Gaza, in addition to the other fronts that are saying that they are fully supportive of the Palestinian people. They will not allow this genocidal war to continue. And so we're seeing that the Israelis, since they are under this pressure, they want to perhaps vent their anger on Lebanon itself by launching an aggression, a full-scale maybe aggression, or a strike that goes further from the boundaries that Hezbollah has laid for them from the beginning of the confrontation, not allowing them to be presumptuous in their launching attacks against civilians. So they want to vent that anger. The Americans also are giving them that green light, perhaps. While at the same time, we know for a fact that the U.S. does not want things to escalate into a regional war. And so I think that they will have to really try to restrain the Israelis into not launching a war that could lead to a direct attack or the killing of civilians in Lebanon, since if that happens, Allah has clearly vowed that they will retaliate.
We'll continue to monitor the trajectory of this conflict. Thank you so much for your time, journalist Miriam Saleh.